Robotaxi is no longer a question of if, it's already solved. The only question now is who will dominate it. Hey everyone, Ken here. In today's video, I want to break down a major shift that just happened in the autonomous driving space, and more importantly, what it means for Tesla investors over the next few years. Because this is not just another tech update, this is the moment where the entire conversation changes. The trigger for this shift comes from NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang. At GTC 2026, he made a very bold statement. He said, the ChatGPT moment of self-driving has arrived. Now, think about what that really means. Before ChatGPT, AI was interesting but uncertain. People were asking, is this actually useful? After ChatGPT, that question disappeared overnight. It became obvious. AI works. And according to Huang, we are now at that exact same turning point with autonomous driving. But here's the most important part. He didn't just say it's close. He said, we now know cars can drive autonomously. That line changes everything because for years, the biggest uncertainty in this space was technical. Can full self-driving actually work? Now, that uncertainty is gone. We've moved from is it possible to how fast can it scale, and that's a completely different game. This is where a new concept comes in, robotaxi-ready cars. These are vehicles designed from the ground up, not for human drivers, but for AI operation. And this is a massive shift because historically, cars were products. You bought them, you drove them, and that was it. But now, cars are becoming assets. They are part of an AI-driven network, which means the definition of a car is being rewritten. Now let's talk about scale, because this is where things get really interesting. Huang mentioned that the number of robotaxi-capable vehicles will reach what he called incredible volume. And this is not just marketing language. NVIDIA already has partnerships with major global automakers like BYD, Hyundai, Nissan, Geely, and Isuzu. If you combine their production capacity, we're talking about roughly 18 million vehicles per year. Let that sink in. This is not a slow rollout. This is not a startup experiment. This is global scale from day one. And it gets even more real. There's already a roadmap for deployment. Through partnerships like Uber, robotaxi services are expected to launch in cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco in 2027. And by 2028, expand to 28 cities across 4 continents. So this is no longer about testing. This is infrastructure. We are watching the early stages of a global mobility network being built. Now, here's where I want to shift the perspective, because a lot of people are still looking at this the wrong way. They think this is a car competition. Which automaker will win? But that's not what's happening. This is not an EV war. This is an AI platform war. At the center of that is NVIDIA. And what NVIDIA is doing is very strategic. They are not just making chips. They are building a full stack platform, hardware, AI models, and autonomous driving software all integrated. In other words, they are trying to become the operating system of autonomous driving. If you think about smartphones, this is like Android. Now compare that to Tesla. Tesla is taking a completely different approach. They are vertically integrated. They control the hardware, the software, and most importantly, the data. This is much closer to Apple's strategy. Closed ecosystem, tightly integrated, optimized end-to-end. So now the picture becomes clear. Tesla is Apple. NVIDIA is Android. And here's the key insight. This is not a winner-takes-all market. Both models can scale massively, which means both ecosystems could become incredibly valuable. But even that is not the most important part, because the real value here is not the car. It's not even the hardware. The real value is in three things: data, AI models, and network effects. Think about what a robotaxi actually is. It's not just a vehicle, it's a moving data center. Every mile driven generates data. That data improves the AI. Better AI attracts more users. More users generate more data, and the cycle accelerates. This is what we call a flywheel. And once that flywheel starts spinning, it becomes very difficult to stop. That's why Huang used the phrase incredible volume. He's not just talking about the number of cars. He's talking about the explosion of data, the acceleration of learning, and the compounding effect of network scale. Now, the final question is, why now? Why didn't this happen 5 years ago? The answer is actually simple. Everything finally aligned. AI models reached a level where they can handle real-world complexity. GPU performance, driven largely by NVIDIA, made large-scale training possible, and sensor costs dropped enough to make deployment economically viable. When these factors come together at the same time, progress doesn't happen gradually, it happens suddenly. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So let's wrap this up. Robotaxi is no longer a future concept, it's becoming infrastructure. And the real battle is not about who builds the best car, it's about who controls the network. From an investor perspective, this is critical because the winners in this space will not just sell vehicles, they will own platforms, they will control data, and they will capture long-term recurring value at massive scale. Over the next few years, we're going to see this play out. And the companies that position themselves correctly now could define the next trillion-dollar ecosystems. So this is a space you want to watch very closely, and I'll continue breaking this down from a Tesla and AI perspective in future videos. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe, and as always, let's keep building the future together. Thanks for watching. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.